Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carole. This is going to be a general reading for you, and there's no date on this reading, and I trust that when it comes into your feed, it's meant for you at the time. I'm going to be using the Curious Travels deck today, and I'm also going to be clarifying with the Radiant Rider-Waite. And so I'm going to jump right into your reading. We're going to look at, first of all, what are you being asked to release that's no longer serving you right now? All right, so let's ask for one card for that. And it looks like it's going to be that one because I can't shuffle anymore. This is the Nine of Cups. And you know, this card I've had to look at so many times because it almost looks like swords. And then, so I have to look at the top, and it's got the cups at the top. So, yeah, we have some cups at the top. So we're Nine of Cups. What's coming up from your shadow that needs healing? Now we're going to be doing some shadow work right here, and this is, you know, we're going to dive into your unconscious, the things that you've put away in childhood, you've shoved down, maybe in adolescence, things that were very hurtful, things you didn't want to look at. We can find emotions in here, we can find memories in here, traumas in here, and so what's happening is this needs healing, and so there's something here that needs healing, and it's having the most impact on the situation that you're being asked here to let go. And so sometimes you could be asked to let go like these emotions, or you could be asked to let go a particular pattern or a situation that you're sitting in. We don't know, but let's look at what's coming up from your shadow right now that's very much having an impact on this situation that you're sitting in over there. One card for that. There we go. You have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And then finally I'm going to ask for some guidance from the tarot. And I want to know what sort of guidance the tarot has in relationship to this situation. Because, you know, I can tell you the situation, I can tell you what needs healing, but then oftentimes, I mean, I don't want to leave you hanging. And so what this section is it'll focus on, the tarot is going to help me focus on and help you focus on something that you need to heal. Start healing right now. It's like a next step for you, really. And so let's have one card for that. You have the Queen of Cups in reverse. And then we'll get some clarifiers for these. So if I can have a couple cards for the Nine of Cups. Ooh, okay. So we have the Six of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Eight of Pentacles. Underneath are Nine of Cups. The Knight of Pentacles, couple for that. Three of Cups and the Four of Wands in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse, couple cards for that. One more card, and then I can get on to your reading. There we go. Okay, you have the World card with the Ten of Wands underneath your Queen of Cups in reverse. So let us begin. What are you being asked to release that's no longer serving you? We have the Nine of Cups here. And this is an individual that looks like they've put this wall around themselves, right? And Cups is all about our emotions. And so they've decided that I'm done with feeling. I'm done with healing. I don't want to feel anymore. I put my emotions away. And they forgot that they're not at the Ten of Cups yet. Like, Ten of Cups is the completion. But it's like, no, I've put my feelings away. It could be around something that you know what it is. But it's like I've had enough of, I've done enough hurting. I've done enough crying around this. I don't want to do any more feeling, thanks. And then to clarify, you have the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands looks like this individual's coming back from some sort of a battle. And they looks like they've won. They have the victory wreath at the top, victory wreath on his head. And so my sixes in my deck, I always read having a duality to them. And so on one hand, it looks like a victory card, but what really is coming out here is there's something hidden underneath that horse. It's wearing this blanket. Like, what's underneath the green blanket here? And that's the opposite of victory, and that's loss. There's some real loss here that you've decided that you don't want to feel anymore. There's some real loss here. The Wheel of Fortune comes in after it, you know, and the Wheel of Fortune is like the wheel of life that continues to turn, and life continues to go on, and yet sometimes we can put it on hold for a while, right? That wheel of, when you're on a Ferris wheel, right? It goes around, but it stops to pick people up or let people off, but it keeps going, and this Wheel of Fortune's coming out saying, you know, it's time. Here is the energy, the big major energy for you, life energy for you that says, you know, they want to get this wheel going again, but there's a lot of grief here that you've decided that you don't want to get to. And so the Eight of Pentacles is here. And I'm going to say that, you know, this is often talks about being very passionate about doing a certain job, right? I'm going to say that for me, this is coming in as, I think you've just lost your passion in life. You've just been, I just got this image of a bag that's been deflated, a balloon that's been deflated. You're feeling completely deflated, done in, and not wanting to feel. And what you're being asked to release that's no longer serving you right now is that whole situation of, I don't want to feel anymore. And so it's time for you to, you know, how can we open this up? What do you need to do to open this wound back up and feel? Because that's what will get the Wheel of Fortune turning, this wheel of life turning again, right? That's what gets you back on it, to get it turning, because you can't stay here anymore. It's time for you to move. And so what's coming up in your shadow that needs healing? And so it's going to be something from your childhood, from your adolescence, where you felt the same way, and you got to go back and you got to heal it. And so you have this Knight of Pentacles right here. And this Knight of Pentacles, well, he's holding the pentacle, right? First of all, the Knights in my deck represent what I call freedom fighters. They're the ones inside of you. They're the part inside of you that wants freedom. We all want freedom. We want to be free to do what we want to do. We want to be free to, you know, our pentacle. You know, here's this pentacle about you and your passion. It wants to be free to follow its passion. And I think you weren't allowed to when you were younger. It's in reverse. So I'm going to say, because it's in reverse here, I'm going to say that you wanted to follow your passion when you were younger. You tried to. And maybe you remember what it is you wanted to do, what direction you wanted to go into when you were younger, but you were very much discouraged. And because of that, you carry a lot of anger. There's a lot of anger here that you need to get to. And here's the Three of Cups here. Three of Cups talks about These three feminine figures that are raising their cups. Cups are all about emotions, right? Beautiful feminine quality that we all have. And they're raising the cups, celebrating this feminine side to them. And unfortunately, emotions is also a feminine quality. Being emotional, being able to use our emotions and feel our emotions. And when you were younger, you couldn't feel that anger. You were told to put that anger away over something that you wanted to do, something that maybe you were meant to do. And this Four of Wands comes here, and in an upright position, the Four of Wands talks about these individuals that are free from this cement wall behind them. And that's what this card is. It's a celebration card. It's a freedom card. It's walking away from these Four Wands that are not meant to be put into the ground. They're meant to go. Wand energy is meant to go. And so here there was this freedom here for you. This is what you wanted. But I can see that because it's in your shadow, this tells me that you were very controlled when you were younger. I'm wondering too, now that I saw the Eight of Pentacles here, I'm wondering if you are doing a job right now, and this is a general reading, right? I'm wondering if you're sitting in a job right now, a career that you didn't pick. Someone else chose it for you. Maybe it's a family thing. Maybe you've inherited this job and you've done it for years. Maybe you spent your entire life doing this job that you didn't really want to do. There was something else you wanted to do and you were told, no, this is where you're meant to go and this is the direction you were meant. Whether it was something that it's a job you inherited and you followed your family, or it was something else you were steered in a different direction, but not the direction you wanted to go to. And I think it's very interesting, and that could be that, And so you've lost your passion because obviously you're not doing something that you're passionate about. And so what guidance does the Tarot have for you in relationship to this situation? We have this Queen of Cups in reverse. Here's the Queen. I talked about feminine energy, feminine qualities already. And here she shows up again, this Queen. The Queen of my deck is our feminine side. We have a feminine side and we have a masculine side. It has nothing to do with our gender. The whole goal of the Fool and his journey in the Major Arcana is to bring those two sides into balance in us, right? We can have too much feminine, too much masculine, and it doesn't matter, like I said, what gender you have, but it seems to be a pull here towards your feminine side. And in particular, the cup is your emotions. And so the universe wants you to go back to your feminine side. And the way that we get back to our feminine side is to get back into our body. Because our masculine, our ego self, will continue to keep us up in our head and not want us to touch our emotions, right? Not want us to touch this loss, maybe around, when you were younger, around having to do something that you didn't want to do. And so you have this anger that's sitting there, and the universe wants you to get to that emotion. Because what's behind the anger is the emotion that you really need to get to. It's underneath this blanket. It's grief. That's what's behind your anger, is grief. And so the World card comes up here, and that's the closure. I see the World card as that closure of bringing, it's the last card. It's the last card in the deck. So it's like bringing that closure of the feminine side and your masculine side. That's what's going to bring you closure here, is to finally tap into your emotional side. And because here's the Ten of Wands, and that once you do that, these burdens, that heavy burden you've been feeling for so long, maybe all your life, of anger, of having to do something that you didn't want to do, of not being allowed to do what you wanted to do when you were younger. You've been carrying that all your life for too long. And that grieving that you're going to do. Well, first of all, you're going to express your anger. I do that through my journaling and through my writing on my computer. I write on there. It's called Rage on the Page, right? Get angry at somebody, because that's how you're going to ground your anger. And once you do that, that grief is going to come. You're not going to know when, but it'll come. But it's the anger that's blocking it right now. And so, Sagittarius, I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. This is a very difficult journey, your healing journey, but it's the most important one. So take care, and I'll talk soon. Bye.